By the way, if anyone's listening from the ATO, get f***ed. You're a narc if you f***ing snitch on me for this. And we got up to leave, and this lady came up to me, and she goes, Brandon? I go, yeah. She goes, hey, I did your With You program. She said, I just want to let you know that after your workshop, me and my family get to keep our house.
Whoa.
With You isn't a new thing that like just came out in like October. Like we were making it better for like 3 years.
Right.
Like literally all we did last year was just try and get the most insane results possible for members. Get as many testimonials, as many wins as we possibly could. And then when we punched the gas, it really grew. Like I'm pretty transparent with our numbers. With You used to be essentially a side hustle for the business. Wow. We would do about $100,000 a month across the business in general. Only $25,000 of that was With You. Now it does
Welcome to the Roadshow podcast.
Brandon, welcome back.
Welcome back for the 2 failed recordings.
Yeah, so we were talking off camera, and literally off camera, but in a pre-recorded fucking version of this. You're creating a fucking bat cave.
Yeah, my trainer's like massively overqualified to be training me because I'm just doing this for fun. Like, I don't want to be a UFC fighter. I'm not actually going to don a cape and become a crime-fighting vigilante. I just think this is fun. Like, what man, if they're truly honest with themselves, doesn't want to become Batman?
I agree.
No one wants to be fucking Spider-Man. What, you got bitten by some bug, you come out of your wrist and you live with your parents. You're a fucking loser, right? But Batman...
Come out of your wrist.
Batman is a crime-fighting billionaire.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And so we... All right, let me recircle this. We're building a bat cave. I'm becoming Batman. So where do we start off? That's right. So biologically, I'm a 29-year-old male, but spiritually, I'm a 45-year-old divorced dad. And so I just want to sit in a garage and like smoke cigars and like listen to Creed. Like I'd be over the fucking moon with that.
Oh yeah.
But I live in an apartment, so I can't do that, right? I don't have a garage, and I can't just like sit there and admire my car. But I was like, oh wait, like our office lease expires in September. By the way, if anyone's listening from the ATO, get fucked. You're a narc if you fucking snitch on me for this.
But I think they're just doing their job.
Yeah, pick another fucking rock. What kind of person grows up and they're like, I want to work at the ATO?
I think they'll all be replaced with AI.
I fucking hope so.
Mum, what do you want to do for a living, son?
I want to be a fucking narc. That's what I want to be. But anyway, so like our office is on like Adelaide Terrace. It used to be next to where you had your podcast studio. And I was like, wait, if you get an office with a warehouse, that's like a giant fucking garage. And then I went, oh, wait, you could build a bat cave, like Bat Cave 2025. Let's fucking go. So we started looking around. We're getting one in Osborne Park. I think we get the keys in like a week or 2. I really don't know. I should probably check my emails. But there's like 3 fucking levels to it. So on the ground floor, there's the office and then this giant warehouse. There's 2 sections to the warehouse.
How big are we talking? Giant.
I don't know the square meterage, but like I
Huge.
wouldn't know the square meter. I wouldn't know. Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say huge, but it's substantially larger than I fucking require to build a personal gym and a recovery center for just me and a couple of my mates.
Yeah.
So we're building a gym in there. We're ordering the equipment this week, and then the wrestling mats and like all that stuff. They're putting the Dark Knight logo on it.
Sick. That's so good.
That's the exact same reaction every single male that I ever tell. It's the exact same reaction. You show them the mock-up, they're like, that's fucking sick.
That's sick. That's sick.
And then...
That's like Dreamtime shit.
Yeah. And then we're building like a recovery center in the second section. So we've got like a sauna, an ice bath, a red light therapy thing, Normatec boots, all this shit.
Yeah.
And then obviously the office, but we've already got the stuff we need for the office, just moving it from the other office. And then downstairs, there's this giant storage shed. And we saw it on the floor plans, like on the real estate website. We're like, what is this fucking storage room thing? But we couldn't see any photos. And then we went down there. I was like, oh, Batcave Cigar Lounge for sure.
Sick.
So like me and my mates are going to turn it into like a cigar lounge kind of thing.
Is it like, is there a place to park your car inside?
Yeah, there's like heaps of parking and stuff.
Oh,
and then I can drive my car into the Batcave.
Oh,
because there's a roller door fucking
That's
thing.
sick.
And then so Zach's also my full-time trainer, Zach Welch. And when we weren't recording before, we were laughing about how like over fucking qualified he is to train me. Because I'm not trying to be like a UFC fighter or anything like that. I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Like if like anyone, like every single guy ever is just like, yeah, that'd be sick. Like if you actually plot it out, we can go down the philosophical route. But one of the reasons that I'm doing it is because like if I actually just like plotted out my perfect day, all it would be is I'd just train in the morning and then I'd do my work and then I'd train in the evening and that would be a perfect fucking day. That would be sick. If I just did that over and over and over again, I'd be over the moon. That'd be the good life. We could talk about the whole philosophy behind that and Aristotle and stuff like that, but that'd just be my good life, right? The other thing on the financial side was like when I talked to like I've got a lot of different coaches. I'm kind of a slut for a good coaching program, especially business ones, right? I'm in like a polyamorous relationship with a dozen fucking coaches. But I was talking to my finance coach and he saw me like signing something. It was me signing the lease documents on my Instagram. He calls me. He goes, what the fuck did you just buy? I go, no. He goes, did you get a car? Is it a car? I was like, no.
Another one?
I was like, no. He goes, what is it? You said Batcave. What are you doing? What are you building? I go, no, the office lease expires. And so we're like moving there. He goes, oh, is it cheaper? I go, no, it's triple. But he goes, why the fuck would he pay more? I go, no, hear me out. Like I spend 80 minutes every single day traveling to and from the gym, like 6 days a week.
How'd you work that out?
So like 20 minutes because I train at like Kick-Ass MMA and like the Barn, and I live in the city, so it's like 20 minutes each way. I train twice a day with Zach at the moment.
Right.
So like as we've been easing into this program, I've just been training out of other gyms, and then so it's like 80 minutes a day of travel time, which over a calendar month is basically a full 40-hour working week. Whoa. And so if I just go to the same place from 5 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. and we cut out all that travel time and we multiply that travel time by like how much revenue I do per hour, I'm like, told that to my coach. He's like, oh yeah, that's a fucking bargain. Like that's such a good deal. Like, all right, yeah, I agree. Good idea. Just because I'll be able to just like work. Like train and then just go into the other room and work.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So financially, like on paper, it looks like a big expense, but like I can focus more on like revenue driving activities and not be like driving around and shit like that, right?
And accessibility from staff to you, right?
Yeah, 100%. And so that's what we're doing. And then so we're also assembling the League of Shadows. So
it's the perfect term for that.
So like Zach does pads for Cody Haddon, who's like a UFC fighter from Perth, and he's training me in wrestling right now. He's a fucking great guy too, really nice guy. So he was training me like last week in wrestling. We've got, I can't remember his name, sorry, but he's one of Zach's clients. He's the head of like 2 security companies. He's a black belt in Krav Maga. And so he's training me as well.
He's not bad, man.
Yeah. And Zach went to him, he's like, hey, like, no disrespect to Krav Maga, but like, can we just skip the white belt shit and teach Brandon how to kill people with random stuff in a room? He's like, oh yeah, I'll bring like some prop guns and prop knives and do like boxing sparring
Is
drills.
the dude's name Paul?
Paul?
Yeah, is he a big Russian guy?
I can't remember, sorry. I could check afterwards.
Yeah.
And then also I was like, well, what else do I, like what other skills do I want to learn? Because we're learning like physical and like intellectual skills. We can talk about the intellectual stuff afterwards as well. But I was like, oh, bow staff, like that looks fun. Like, you know, when you flick this bow staff around.
I only know how to use them on Call of Duty.
yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, like I know the like state champion in bow staff. I was like, who are all these fucking people that you know? And so we're just bringing them all to my gym and just assembling the fucking League of Shadows to train me. And then what else am I doing? I'm learning Russian because it's like the hardest fucking language to assimilate. And so I was like, oh, that'd be fun. Like I like wrestling. Like I like it more than striking for sure because when I'm doing like Muay Thai, traditional boxing, wrestling, jits, fucking Krav Maga, bow staff, nunchucks, like all of them, right?
Okay, so one question. When does the wrestling bears begin?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to need to plan a trip to Russia. But I was like, oh, wouldn't it be sick if we both learnt Russian and like during our wrestling fights we could just talk shit in Russian? I was like, well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that's
and then we got
actually-
like a chess coach who's coming to like teach me at the place.
What?
And then also philosophy as well. Whoa. So there's like a philosophy school in Perth that's gonna come and like teach me like at the place. So like basically
You're just like getting punched in the face.
yeah. Because the other thing
Socrates mentioned.
yeah, because I've got just this private space. Just do anything.
Yeah,
and like,
true.
obviously, like it's not that fucking deep. Like I'm not trying to literally become Batman or anything like that. But it's just fun. Like I always just like enjoy learning all these new skills. I like training. We were talking about before. Like if I just had my perfect day, all I do is like train physically, try and learn new skills, and try and make money.
Yes.
That'd be sick. And then I hang out with my girlfriend, our 2 cats, and I watch maths. Like it's fun. Like I like it. I just like switching my brain off. You know what?
I've just clicked off of maths.
You know why I like? You know why I like maths?
Why?
Because it makes me feel important. Because none of their fucking problems matter.
Yeah.
You know they like dramatize all of it, dude.
Yeah.
I'd be the worst fucking contestant on that show because I'd just be like, dude, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It's like you got called a mean name.
That's
by
why
them.
they get paid, though. You know. I'd
They get paid?
Maths. Married at
The
first sight?
contestants?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. Do I need to Google this right now?
I was talking to ChatGPT about like I just asked for the spoilers. I just asked like who works out, and then I want to know like what happens to them after the show. too.
Yeah.
Like whose life got ruined.
Wasn't there a fucking maths contestant that got fucking beheaded recently?
What?
Didn't you see that? No. Yeah, it was this tall blonde haired chick. She was walking down the street and she had the other contestant they were supposed to get together, his head in a Gucci bag.
What?
Walking down the street.
Jesus, I don't know that.
Yeah. I'll show you after.
Yeah, I get demonetized.
Yeah. Sorry, YouTube. I wanted to talk to you about the philosophy of why you're doing it. Like, I know you're skipping over how cool it is when skipping over the philosophy, but it seems like anybody looking in would be like, this guy's just trying to be like Andrew Tate-esque, you know, like
Timu Tate.
Timu Tate. But there seems to be like, there's not too many things that Tate does or says that hasn't got some sort of like value, you know? And when it comes to his training, and I've talked to a lot of fighters as well, you get this sensibility of like chillness about you after training.
Yeah, for sure. Like I experienced that after training. I just feel more relaxed. I mean, obviously there'd be the contrast between I was just getting punched in the face and now I'm no longer getting punched in the face. That contrast is relaxing. It's like I don't think people really like ice baths. I think they like getting out of ice baths though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like I quit drinking, like we were talking before, like I quit drinking 8 or 9 weeks ago. So I've been sober for like 8 or 9 weeks. Because I was like, you know me, like I was a fucking heavy drinker, especially like the start of this year. Because, I mean, like hopefully this doesn't come off too egotistical. Because where you started doing like really, really well, like I just had more disposable income. I would just drink all of it.
Well,
Like I was just hungover. Like if you've seen my ads prior to the ads from like 2 months ago, I'm hungover in like every single one.
wow.
Like literally every single one on like no sleep after like a fucking bender. Because I drink like a fucking bottle of tequila for like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 nights a week. And so I was usually hungover.
But you had that tolerance from like
yeah, that was the other
ages
thing too.
ago.
That's the thing I like about not drinking now. Because I always joke with Tim. I'm like, man, I did pretty well the last 5 years. Physically and intellectually handicapping myself against all of my competitors, and I still won. And now it's like I'm just taking that away. It's like, dude, after like 4 days of no drinking, I was like, oh my fucking God, I can see the Matrix. Just like, literally like only 4 days of no drinking, I was like, holy fuck. And then like after 5 days, I was like, bro, I'm never drinking again.
Right.
And like, to be clear, I don't actually have anything against drinking. Like I have friends that still drink and things like that as well.
i.e.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. Like, I think I've just had my phase now.
Yeah.
And I've had friends that are like, oh, like, when are you drinking again? I actually don't want to anymore. The interesting thing as well, I think this will be useful for listeners as well, is I tried to quit drinking on multiple different occasions. Like, we'll just call a spade a spade. I was an alcoholic for like a decade, right? But I'd always try to quit drinking. And that's why I think, like habit stacks, he was like, I'm just going to tick this box. I think they're a little bit of a, no, not a thing. I know it to be true that they're a Band-Aid solution to a bigger problem.
Yes.
So for example, when I quit drinking, I was in a mastermind at the Entourage on like Hayman Island. And usually what a mastermind is, or at least in this situation anyway, is like it'd be me and like 5 or 6 other business owners, like big 7 or 8 figure business owners. And you can raise either your biggest challenge or your biggest opportunity. And you can be business or it can either be personal or professional. So often people bring up, I want to sell my business and I want to think of what variables to do and stuff like that. And usually I'll bring up business stuff as well. But then I was just like, hey, look, I've been an alcoholic for a decade and I want to quit. I've tried many times and it hasn't worked out before. The thing that actually helped me the most was I actually brought up wanting to quit drinking at the same mastermind 3 years beforehand. And I actually made the same comment that I already knew it, but it's because I still had my like Wilco DJ identity.
Right.
And you probably noticed my Instagram username's changed now.
Yeah.
So
Wilco only child.
Yeah, now it's brand only child. But I was still like hanging on to this identity from my early 20s, and that identity involved just heavily drinking all the time. And so I had to like let go of it. And so we fucking changed my username. This sounds very silly and very like first world problem-y, but just changing my username then was like actually a big thing. Like I didn't want to fucking do it for 3 years because I was like, well, Wilco was important and you had all this validation from your early 20s.
Yeah.
And so like letting go of it was a big deal. And then even like really like simple things, like you probably noticed, like I'm wearing like a belt, my shirt's tucked in. So like when I got home, I bought all new clothes and stopped wearing my old clothes. I actually threw out most of it.
Really?
Yeah, because it just feels like I'm putting on like a new uniform and a new identity.
Yes.
And so obviously the whole identity thing was like, well, I want to be fucking Bruce Wayne / Batman, obviously with a kind of comical spin on that, right? Like not literally, but like if we were to pick something, that's kind of the tongue in cheek, the like identity that I'm going for. That was the most helpful thing because you can't just like get rid of a habit without and like adopt a new identity. You had to adopt a new identity which has a new set of values and habits. And that was actually something. So I have an addiction coach as well. So Conrad from ACAU, Australian Addiction Coaching. Sorry, Conrad, you're gonna hate me, but Conrad was actually a With You member, and he was in our Melbourne workshop. And I like went to go. So I was thinking when I wanted to quit, I was like, okay, if you were giving advice to someone else in your shoes, what advice would you give to them? And I said, I'll just tell them to get a coach. That's what I tell everyone because like there's a few things that happen when you get a coach. 1, you put energy and focus towards it. 2, you're a little bit like financially invested. And 3, you can kind of just copy their answers.
Yes.
And just like speed run all this shit. And so I went to go book a call with Conrad. I went to go book a call and then closed the tab and backed out like 6 times. Because I was like, dude, I don't want to like, it felt like booking.
How long over like time?
It was like, it only took me a day, but in that day I opened the booking page, started typing my details, like, nah. And then backed out and then went back because like, it was like booking that call was admitting that I had a problem, which I did. Like, we just call a spade, right? Like I was an alcoholic. And so when I finally booked the call, it was like, oh, fuck. And then talk to him was great. Like we worked together one-on-one. I think I'm going to call them tomorrow. We started talking less because I was like, bro, I think I nailed this. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I haven't had any fucking cravings at all. But a big thing he was getting me to do was
fucking nailed this.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fucking killing it.
We're moving on.
I'm fucking killing it. But a big thing he was getting me to do was like journal about like a new identity. So he got me to do this like subconscious journaling activity. I had to journal on a new prompt every single day, every single morning for like 30 consecutive days.
What were, i.e., some of the prompts?
Some of them, like one of them was like write out a conversation between your new self and your older self.
Oh, fuck.
And so like it was like me. It sounds cheesy, but it was like me talking to Wilco, like a 21-year-old drunk alcoholic DJ, saying like, no, like you had your time. Like I've got all these big plans now. I'm not like ignoring you, but like you just had your time and I've just got a bigger thing now.
It's completed.
Yeah. And like acknowledging like, hey, like you had your time. And then also stuff like I had to like acknowledge pain. I was like, bro, you nearly died a couple times. Like I appreciate you going through all of that. But yeah, it was weird. Like I had to like.
How did it make you feel after you wrote it? If I'm prodding too much too, just
no. It certainly felt empowering, but like doing it felt like it was like so. It's called. I think it's called interfamily relationships, which is where there's like it's not multiple personality disorder. Relax,
No.
But it's like you have multiple different kind of identities in your head that serve different purposes.
Yes.
Right. And so it was like talking to like we just called it Wilco because that was just really what it was. And so like it was like talking to Wilco as like this little fucking 21-year-old drunk DJ that just wants validation from everyone. And I had to talk it down like, no, like we're doing this now. You'd be happy with what we're doing now. It felt kind of surreal, to be honest, is the best way to do it. But like writing it down. And then the other thing, this was really interesting, was you'd have to write one statement over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And you always do it with like a lead pencil because you want, it's like earth to fucking wood to hand and stuff like that. But you'd had to write out a statement like, I acknowledge my past, but something about my future. You'd had to write it over and over and over again. I know how to fucking spell, but I'd keep making spelling mistakes. And it's like, Conrad's like, yeah, it's your subconscious trying to like reject it. Bro, it was like literally writing it, and then I'd read back over. I'm like, you fucking misspelled that word there, or like typos and stuff like that. It was so bizarre, but yeah, super. Like as soon as I did that and just like adopted the new identity and more importantly got rid of the old one, like acknowledged it and just moved on from it. That's when like I have precisely zero cravings for drinking at all. I've been in plenty of situations like with friends that were drinking too, where I was like, oh, I just don't really feel like it anymore. And like the thing that pops up is like friends be like, oh, like when are you drinking again? I'm like, no, I'm not a drinker anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The identity has changed.
Yeah, it's like I think, and I'm not like talking shit about my friends or anything like that. Like they feel like, oh, this is just like a little sprint Brandon's doing, and then he'll reward himself later by drinking. I'm like, no, I actually feel pretty rewarded just not drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think a lot of people try and quit drinking alcohol in particular when they're having the most fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they know it's a problem, they're going out all the time, they're drinking heaps, they're like, oh, the fucking hangovers are getting to me. But you're having the most fun when you're on it. You know, it's not really serving the purpose anymore.
Yeah.
I find too, now, I haven't been in your shoes, dude, but like I imagine Wilco was a loud fucking character to quieten down. Because that guy, a lot of like teenagers and into 20s they try to get the attention, but they don't get the attention. Yeah. Wilco was one of those characters that got the fucking attention.
Yeah, I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a loud character for sure. And then it's also interesting to see how patterns will like play out. So for example, like in my early 20s, like getting validation from like just like girls was like one example. Like getting validation from girls was one thing, but now the way it plays out, like my like late 20s now, is getting validation from like, look how successful my business is, which is like just call my Instagram what it is, right? Like half the time it's a flex.
Yes.
Right. But it's interesting to see like how those things play out. Another thing is like impulsivity. So drinking in my early 20s was just like a big impulsive thing. The way it pops up now is spending. Oh. So if you don't address like the core thing, which is actually what because me and Conrad were like, I think we've fucking nailed the no drinking thing. Let's go on to the next addiction, which is just like impulsive spending.
Right.
And so that pattern will just go, okay, well, you're not doing it with drinking anymore. I'm going to do it with this other thing and scratch that itch that way. So if you don't address the like underlying pattern, it will just pop up in another fucking thing. It
amplifies in a different direction.
And then I might like stop spending, but it might pop up in, I don't know, some other random fucking thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so like, so now it's like working on the like no spending thing. But that's always been, actually, this is a good segue. My general philosophy for self-improvement is, I spoke about this on another podcast, is you should journal every morning and write down what's the thing that I'm avoiding.
On that day?
Yeah. Or just in general.
Just in general, right.
Yeah, okay. Because like that's where the work is. So for example, I don't want to, so the booking a call with Conrad.
Yes.
I was avoiding booking a call about my alcohol problem.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, fuck, just book it. Like, it was weird. It's not hard. It's not, like, no one's putting a fucking gun to my head or anything like that. But that always indicates where the problem is. And so what I try and do is I try and find what characteristic of my own character has like the highest leverage. So for example, if you mapped out yourself like a, I don't know, fucking Pokemon character or something like that, right? And you have like, I don't know, income, strength, fighting skills, public speaking skills, like you just had all these statistics that you could possibly get. If you're a 9 out of 10 in making money, going from a 9 to a 10, there's not that much leverage there. But if you're a 4 out of 10 in health and you just get to a 6, well, that's a 50% improvement.
Yes. True.
Right? And so what you try and do is, like, what do I suck at? That if I just got good at it at all, I would see a massive improvement. Like if I went from a 1 to a 2, I'm twice as good kind of thing. Right. And so that's my general philosophy is just like, that's why I always like attacking new things. Might be the weaponized autism and the ADHD as well.
It could be, bro.
Yeah.
It could be. But it also allows you to open your horizons to like experiencing new things.
Yeah, it's fun and exciting as well. I was speaking, so I have a personal brand coach as well, right? So like one of the like
Do you ever get them all in a room?
Yeah. But one of the big takeaways we had, like the difference in my personal brand is I'm very playful and fun with everything.
Yeah.
Like the whole Batcave, like it's just fun. Like gives a fuck, right? And so I worked out with another coach, Cameron Norsworthy, who's like my flow coach, like performance coach. One really interesting thing I learned from him, I need to get the angle right for the camera. But so if you have a like a gauge, right, like a speedometer, and you have like relaxed down here and burnt out all the way over here. Flow is found right in the middle.
Yeah.
And there's different words you can plot out here. The word that comes right before flow is playful. And so if you can find a way to make something more fun, that's why you can find a flow state more easily. Yeah. Prevents you from burning out too. Like that's when, I mean, it's a bad example because my boxing fight I lost. But when I first started working with Cameron I entered a boxing fight because I was terrified of violence. And so like just mortified, like I'd freeze up. And so I entered the boxing fight, the corporate rumble thing. And then he like rewired my thoughts around sparring to be more playful and fun. And so I went to sparring that night and I bashed everyone because I just pretended like I was a WWE character.
Nice.
And I was just being more playful and just bounce around and stuff like that. I wasn't like freezing up like punch now and like very rigid. I was just kind of playful with it. And anything that I've ever really gotten good at, I've always like found it fun, found a way to make it fun. Like sounds silly, but like building landing pages and nurture sequences to me is like fun, right? It's just, I don't know.
Okay.
It's like I'm building a house in Minecraft, you know, when you click it and you find that flow state. But
I look at ads manager on Facebook, I'm like, nah.
Well, here's another really useful thing as well. So this is also from Cameron. So Cameron taught me the difference between process goals, performance goals, and outcome goals. So an outcome goal is when you're focused on, you play chess, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you know when you're playing like a game of chess and you're about to lose and you start freezing up on the outcome of losing?
Yes.
But when you're in a good game, what are you focusing on?
The process of winning.
Yeah, just like the best next move on the board given the move that they just made, right?
Yeah.
And so you find flow state when you're just focused on process. So when in the With You 2-day workshop where we have business owners just like you where they like log in, I was like, I just go, by show of hands, who logs into Ads Manager, looks at the interface and was like, fuck that, and then just leaves. And like the whole room just raises their hand, right? Okay, cool. So this is what I want you to do for the workshop. All I want you to do is just focus on the process. And the process is follow along with Sophie and just, what button do I press next? That's it. Well, don't worry about like this over here and this warning. Just what button do I press next? That's it. That's really all it comes down to. It's just pressing the right next button. And so when you can focus on the process of whatever skill you're trying to acquire rather than the outcome, you can slip into a flow state a little bit easier.
That's a good way of looking at it. I find like a lot of people in their day-to-days, whether it be business or if you just have a standard job and whatnot, the mundane necessity of work life can really fucking wear you down.
Yeah, that's why you need novelty, right?
Yes.
So that's why I like training all these different things, because if I just do boxing over and over and over and over again, for me anyway, personally, I just find that very mundane as like jab, cross, hook. It's a little bit boring. That's why every single time we train a random martial art and he tells me when I rock up. So like it's new and interesting and novel.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're doing until
I don't know what I'm going to do to get there. I don't know who I'm training with. It's just like fun and new and novel. It's when things become repetitive and the reward for the repetition no longer outweighs the mundaneness of it, that's when you start burning out and people just start hating their lives in general.
Doing so many different styles of martial arts, though, are you having to do a lot of warm-ups and stretching sessions? I'd imagine so, because you need leg dexterity, especially if you're doing...
And I'm super immobile, because obviously I'm at a desk all day long, right? So I try and use my standing desk as much as I can.
Do you have a treadmill desk?
No, I was going to get one, though. But I go for pretty like long walks and stuff like that. Walks are really helpful for finding flow state and clarity, too.
Do you know Ben Greenfield?
Yes.
Yeah, so he stands on... he has... a treadmill desk, but then he also has a desk that has an earthing mat.
Oh yeah, I was looking into that. I like all these weird biohacks. Like,
I love it. Yeah,
yeah. I had I have a pulsetto.
What's that?
Saying that, so it's like this little thing you put around your neck. You had to put this gel so it can actually conduct, and it kind of like it's not a shot collar, but it kind of lightly zaps your neck and it stimulates your vagus nerve.
Oh yes.
Now I learned this from remember Diana, my voice coach.
Yeah,
so I learned this from her. So one of the ways you can relax yourself is vagus nerve stimulation.
Yeah.
One way you can do it is yawning.
Isn't putting your face in water as well? Isn't that a thing?
Perhaps.
In cold water?
Not one of the ones she taught me.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's stimulating your vagus nerve. So like yawning or like, you know, when you're like, sometimes when people are scared, they hum.
Yeah,
It stimulates your vagus nerve. This essentially achieves a similar effect where it kind of like lightly zaps. And the first time I used it, I nearly like fucking dozed off in like 7 minutes.
Why?
Yeah, because it's just like so relaxing. It's weird.
What is it? Is it like a theta wave or something like that?
No, it's like, that's a brainwave thing. It's just like kind of vibrates your neck. Yeah. And you can like dial up.
Can you put it on your balls?
Right, you can dial up the intensity as well.
I'm gonna put it on my inner thigh. I like a couple of different biohacks. Obviously, blue light blocking glasses for better sleep at night. Red light therapy is great. Sauna's great. Have you done hyperbaric?
Not yet.
Amazing.
Not yet.
There's a place called the Wellness Center.
Yeah.
In
Osborne Park?
No, Ascot.
Ascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking into that.
Epic.
As well. Do you have to do it consistently though to get the effects, or can you do it once? I don't know.
I fucked up because I had a bit too much money when I was younger, and they had a deal where they'd double whatever you paid, and I bought 200 sessions. So
what the fuck?
So I still have sessions that I haven't used there, and I'm pretty sure I paid for the hyperbaric straight out the gate for the machine. I should have just bought one myself, to be honest.
They've got have you tried the Hocat machine? Hocat. All right, so bro, I'll tell you the story. So it's at Beyond Rest in East Perth.
I used to work there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
So when was that?
That was 2016.
Oh, wow.
2015, 16.
Ages ago.
Yeah.
So it was there, and so like obviously they got the float tanks, and you know when like you're in a float tank, usually the lights kind of slowly dim. This one didn't. I can't click, but it just like snapped out.
You fucking you made up for it.
But it just snapped out. I went, that's weird. And then I was like in the thing in the dark, obviously, which is meant to be in the dark.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't know. I feel like the power just went out. And so I got out and I went to the front desk and they're like, oh, Brandon, sorry. Yeah, I had a timer going. And there's two dudes from Western Power in the building. They were trying to hook up the Hocat machine. It fucking shut down the power to the block, I think. So this thing is like an immortality fucking device. You know that scene from, I don't watch Star Wars, but like, you know the scene where they like make Darth Vader and he kind of like comes back out and they like bring him back to life? It's like that because you had to get into it completely naked. And then you like pass the towel through like the neck hole. Just your head is out of it. And then,
is it the ozone thing?
Yeah. So they pump ozone into it. It's a sauna, it's red light therapy, and then they pass you two fucking cattle prods that you hold onto and they zap your hands.
Whoa.
So you're getting electrocuted, microwaved,
steamed,
and you're butt naked.
And thrown into the fucking atmosphere.
I think it's a prank, bro.
There's just a film crew in there.
Bro, I reckon it's just like, you know, I have this theory about like...
Are you rotating as well?
Yeah, you're a rotisserie chicken. I have this theory that like all these fucking biohacks, it's just like Revenge of the Nerds. Like it's just like Huberman. And like Cal Newport and shit, just having a secret meeting like, oi, you know what would be funny?
Let's fuck 'em up.
We fucking microwave them. And then we tell them ice buffs. Like, just shut up.
They're all dying.
And then all started these podcasts and just convinced us all for the shit.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Unfortunately, I do think it works.
I think it does.
That ozone, I've never done the ozone thing.
Yeah, and then they pump like fresh. Well, they had to pump fresh oxygen into your nose because otherwise, if you inhale the fumes or something, you like pass out.
Whoa.
But then also they had to keep track of how often you've been using it and how frequently, because if you have it too often, there's like negative side effects.
Like a microwave.
Yeah, they make it, like a microwave. And I think the thing's like 160 grand or something like that.
Whoa.
It's fucking expensive.
Do you know who's a part owner of that?
No.
Josh Kennedy.
Why do I know that name?
He was the captain of the Eagles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's fucking wild dude. Super locked in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not captain anymore. The only reason I know that is because I used to work with him. So
Yeah. Right.
They have a lymphatic drainage system machine there as well.
Oh, do they have that now? I want to try that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yours would be like straight tequila.
yeah. I'd be curious to see it after.
You're
like
at least
8
carrying
weeks.
a liter of tequila.
How does that work?
Apparently, you sit on like this towel, and I don't know if they inject you with something or fucking whatever. But then look, I'm gonna fuck it up.
I'll Google it.
Yeah,
after,
Google
bro.
it. Yeah,
It's all right.
but it looks cool because you stand up from the towel and you've got like black stuff around from where your lymph nodes were, like in your groin, at the bottom of your feet's where like the lymph nodes drain from. So I don't know.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, give it a go. Tell me how you feel. Go get microwaved again, and then I might try it.
Yeah.
I worked. So it wasn't like I worked for them eventually, but it started out like, hey, you're a hippie. And I was fucking deep in it at the time. I was taking mushrooms in the tanks and everything, bro.
Yeah.
And I had this one trip and I come out of like Jesus, bro. I was like, oh, I fucking stepped out of the tank and they used to let me float after hours. Mm-hmm. And they were like, do you want to fucking like an internship here? And I'm like, what does that consist of? And they're like, do a 5-hour shift.
Yeah.
And basically it's just talk shit and just like change the towels and you get a free float. Yes. And do it as many times as you want. And I did that and I would be there after hours floating, like tripping balls on mushrooms. There was this one guy who came in and he's like, I just had MDMA. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. And he left and like he ran out of the center. Wow. We went in there and there was a shit in the tank. He got the fucking Molly shits in the tank.
Fuck, that's gross.
It's so gross, dude. Yeah, so let's fucking digress. I do think a lot of the stuff is beneficial, but I think it's like just mechanical fucking constitutions for just like living in nature.
Yeah, that's basically it. We just made natural living overcomplicated and commercialized it. Yeah. So, bro, the capitalist in me is happy, but like the realist is like, bro, just go outside and breathe air.
What made you wanted to do the boxing match in the first place?
Oh, because I was just scared of violence.
So that was your pressure to do it?
Yeah, no, I was always terrified of violence. So I was in another coaching program. I was in a coaching program with Rhett Coots, and everyone had to pick like a big challenge. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, go on the call. He was like, everyone go away for like 20 minutes. Just have a think about it. Maybe go for a walk or something like that. And I was like, what would mine be? I was like, all right, well, I just did bodybuilding. So I was like, okay, well, that's strength. I was like, well, maybe fighting. And I was like, man, I'm fucking terrified of violence. Like, I was genuinely, like, I did a little bit of boxing, but like never sparring. Whenever we did like light sparring, I was just like, fuck, like very scared of it. I was like, well, fuck it. I was like, just do a boxing fight. And then I just like, came back on the call. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do a corporate rumble fight because I'm scared of fighting. And then I just like, they're like, well, and then they went around, they're like, well, that's sick. And they went around to everyone else. Like, so Brandon, when are you entering? I'm like, I just fucking did. Did it on the call then and there. And then I think it got accepted like, I don't know, a couple of days later or something like that.
So did you have to sponsor the event to fight?
I don't think he had to, but I did anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. I lost. I got the shit bashed out of me. It's so funny. If you watch the YouTube fight, like on, obviously the fight on YouTube, all they're saying is like, man, Brandon's got a lot of heart, like just keeps coming forward. Because my rule was I wasn't allowed to step backwards. That was my rule. I
You
just
made it
couldn't,
to yourself?
I just couldn't cower her out. I was like, and so I was like, all right, we'll just, and they also told us the aggressor wins. So I was like, oh, so just keep walking forward. They're like, yeah, basically. But they kind of like assumed I would know to hit them back. So if you watch the fight, like it starts off bad, and then the whole thing's just bad. Oh, no. Because like I think Kai had that was his name, right? Kai was he'd already had like 2 like amateur fights or something like that. Oh, wow. So he already had he was already really, really experienced. It was so funny because I trained at Kick-Ass MMA, and when Steve, because I told Steve I entered, and like actually before I entered, I was like, "Do you reckon I could do this?" He's like, "Yeah, you fucking suck though, so you're gonna have to come here a lot." He's like, "But yeah, it's a sick goal, do it." And so he's like, "Yeah, come to sparring on Monday." And went to sparring. He goes, "All right, cool. So I had to get you not scared of violence, so I'm gonna like beat you up for like half an hour." And he did. He beat the shit out of me. And
that's a good way to do it, man.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Well, how do you feel now?" I'm like, "Less scared, but still a little bit that hurt." Yeah. Anyway, and then. But as soon as like the first bell rang and he punched me, because I've been sparring all the dudes at Kick-Ass, I was like, as soon as he hit me, I went, fuck, I know what that feels like. That feels like you've been doing this for years.
Oh, no.
And then, dude, I'm covered in blood, but I just kept going forward. And then, I think round 3 or something like that, I just give it up. I was like, fuck it, just keep walking into them and hitting them. But, my rule was, I wasn't allowed to step backwards, wasn't allowed to take a knee, wasn't allowed to do anything like that. I was like, I just had to keep going forward. That was the thing. And then eventually the ref was like, Blue. I was Blue. He's like, Blue, you're going to give me something because I just stopped responding. And so I just punched the air twice and kept walking forward. But if you listen to the commentary, they're like, "Oh man, it's going to take a lot to put Brandon down. Brandon just won't stop coming forward." I'm like, well, it sounds good, but they didn't have anything else to fucking talk about when it came to me. It wasn't like, "Oh, Brandon's got a punch in." It's like, no, Brandon's getting punched a lot and just keeps walking forward like a robot.
So was it a win by knockout?
No, I just it was just win by points.
Okay, yeah.
I just kept going forward.
That's good.
Yeah, I just kept going forward.
You still lost, but
I lost badly. but considering I'd never done a fight before.
Are you going to do another one?
Probably not. But I don't have any plans to. I think Zach wants to enter me in a jiu-jitsu competition.
Sick.
4 months or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't even started jiu-jitsu, so we'll see how that goes.
You'll get locked in.
Yeah, but I don't that's my thing. I don't care about winning or losing. For me, that was just all right, well, at least you know you're not a coward.
That's important. That is important. Where does that come from, in your life? Saying, "Hey, I'm scared of this. Let me fucking go tackle that."
I've been thinking about that more in recent weeks. I think because I have a unique perspective on personal development, because I think a lot of people that are into personal development were always into it. And so it's well, that was easy for you, so you're just doing what was always easy to you anyway. I kind of danced with the devil for a good decade. And still got away from it. I could have very easily been a fucking morbidly obese, alcoholic, drug addict DJ in my late 30s. But I got close to that and then went, no, I'm just going to go this way instead. So I think I have a unique perspective anyway of literally fucking dancing with the devil and then getting away from it. So that's my kind of unique perspective. And I've always just found it. I've said this time and time again on different podcasts and interviews. I've never improved at something when I've been comfortable, and so I always look at discomfort as a symptom to growth, and so I kind of just try and lead into that. And so far, I've been 100% correct 100% of the time. The growth is always just wherever I'm the least comfortable.
Yes.
Obviously, there's logic to come without, literally physically being in pain because you're being stabbed is not an indication that you should stab yourself more.
You're winning. There's no point. Why do you think people seek comfort?
I think it's just the natural baseline. That's just evolutionary.
Yeah. Well, it is evolutionary for sure, because we've always been chased by fucking lions and bears and fucking everything else. But it's gotten to the point now where the comfort is now unhealthy for us.
Yeah, that's going to be I'm going to think about that more in my thinking time, because that's a good philosophical question of why do you seek comfort? Because the answer is very obvious.
I find it's
well, the first answer is very obvious. Sorry.
Instead of having physical anomalies chasing us or entities chasing us, we have now got emotional and offensive and that kind of stuff. One of my friends, James, who he owns Tharuna Indigenous Waste Services. Mm-hmm. I was talking to him just before this podcast, actually, and he was saying to me about control. And we live in a capitalist society, as you've mentioned a couple of times already. And the way that tribalism goes, and comfort in tribalism, and comfort in finding your people, family's a different thing in this setting for me, obviously, for anyone really, because you just want to have a comfy family life. But if you're talking about why we seek comfort, it's most likely that the comfort is only there because of fear that's been inspired in the past, and we found retribution in finding the way to get away from that fear.
I like that thought.
He said there was an experiment of red ants and black ants, and they put them in a jar. And at first, those red ants, it was in like a sand jar. And at first, they left it still, and they started fighting, the red and black ants. And then eventually, there was some chill, there's some calmness in the jar, right? And then they started kind of working together, almost to the point of breeding. They got like very like habitual with each other, and then some motherfucker came along and shook the jar.
Yeah, right.
And then they started going crazy again.
Yeah,
and they started attacking each other.
It's a larger meta-analysis of the world and politics at large.
Right?
It's like someone just shakes the jar. You guys hate each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't look at this over here, though.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is there's a lot more going on, and we find comfort because of the fear that's inspired by the rest of the stuff.
Yeah,
Somebody shook the jar, and we were living comfortably. So let's find more comfort to not think about that.
Yeah, I like that thought. Do you ever? You've had a philosopher or two on here, haven't you?
Yeah, about a couple. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you find them?
Universities.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, I can link you up with a couple.
Yeah, that'd be great actually.
Yeah. How deep do you want to go?
So I'm still exploring at the moment. So I was reading, this isn't a philosophy book, but Ultra Learning by Scott H. Young. And so it's a really great book. I recommend it to everyone. It's basically just like how to learn strategies and tactics to learn things faster. And one of the things...
Is that the road less traveled?
Nah, something else.
Okay, my bad.
But one of the chapters is about like you have to map out the scope of what you're trying to learn. Like you need to start with a map first. So the way I incorrectly... Well, it's not a correct way, but the way that I less than ideally started learning philosophy was I just picked random books that I thought the artwork was cool. But then I was learning just like learning metaphysics. I was like, what the fuck does this sentence say? And so I was like literally like I could read a whole paragraph. Like I have no idea what the fuck I just read. Like it's so humbling, especially as someone that like considers myself like a pretty intelligent guy. I read a sentence, I'm like, I don't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to map out like what genre the correct word, but what arm of philosophy that I want to go down, because the whole idea of philosophy is you have to answer good questions. And so one of the better ways to start with learning philosophy is picking which question you want to answer. Mm-hmm. So like, for example, like I'm not interested in metaphysics. However, like one thing that I have found interesting is like the philosophy on like what's a good life. Like I've been reading, I think it's Cicero's like A Good Life. It's from like Penguin Publishing. I think it's from like a Roman times or something like that. But that one's been resonating with me. So I was like, okay.
Have you read Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah, Meditations. Yeah, I've listened to the audio book. But essentially what I had to do first is like find what arm of like what question of philosophy that I want to answer. Mm-hmm. The other reason that I want to study philosophy, because I don't like it right now, is it's hard. But one of the reasons I want to study philosophy is because you learn to like critically think and use logic and make arguments. Like for example, like I was listening to the problems of philosophy this morning, and one of them is like talking about matter, right? So it's like, well, if we press this table, well, how would you describe it? You go, well, it's hard. Well, it's like, well, that's subjective to how hard that you push. True. So if I'm a robot with an iron arm going, it's like not hard, right? Yeah. So like all these weird questions you got to like argue with, and it makes you just like think deeper. And so that's one of the other reasons that I want to study it.
Because you was it a vocal coach?
Voice coach, yeah.
Voice coach. How's that going? Because
That was great, yeah.
I noticed that your adverts got a lot more attentive to the way you use words and stuff. It was
for sure. And that's one of the benefits again of getting a coach in anything is just you're going to spend more time, effort, and energy trying to get better at it. You bring more attention to it. But yeah, working with Tiana was great. I think we spoke about it on the last podcast where she was like Jackson. Remember Jackson? So I was having dinner with Jackson, and he goes, "Oh, like how's the voice coaching going?" And I was like, "Well, it's week 6. We haven't talked about me umming or ahhing, but I've been standing wrong my whole life. I've been breathing wrong my whole life. We're talking about my childhood trauma and trying to unpack that, and we haven't even talked about my filler words just yet." Like it's just very interesting how it all works.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. Like if you look at the content that I was filming. I film now compared to even just like a year and a half ago. Like I actually look at down the barrel of the camera a lot more. My eyes don't just autistically go around the room. I don't over exaggerate my hand movements.
Great recall as well of stories and information.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that's because I repeat a lot of the same or similar stories. There's a great book you could also read called I'll send it to you later.
I take back that recall thing.
I'll send it to you later, but I think I illegally downloaded it as a PDF, but it has a whole list of different filler words and then just more articulate replacements for them. So I've probably on this podcast a few times, rather than saying it's like, I'll say it's akin to. It's my word of the week.
Yeah, that's your obsession this week.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Z Library?
No, what's up?
Z Library is every single book in the world downloadable
Really?
for free.
Oh.
You didn't hear that, and don't do it. Because it's super illegal, but if you want free books, free university books, like that, literally everything on there.
Just PDFs?
PDFs.
That's sick.
Yeah, downloadable, printable.
Just airdrop it to an iPad.
Yeah. Read it on iBooks or whatever the fuck you... Because that's a PDF reader, iBooks.
Yeah, iPad, you can drop PDFs onto it.
Can you?
Yep.
Oh, cool. I have an iPad and I don't fucking use it like that. So stupid. This is what I'm talking about. We're fucking so comfortable we don't even know what we got. Fuck this place, man.
Yeah, I have like 5 laptops.
Really?
Yeah. Just because we leased everything.
What's your favorite laptop? Here's a question I've never asked anyone.
I don't know, MacBook Pro. I've got like 5.
It's mine too.
Like, yeah, because we were just like leasing them through the company for different staff members, and then like bunch left, so we just had all these spare laptops. I think my girlfriend just has a laptop literally just to play The Sims on it.
Sick.
It's just a Sims laptop.
Fucking good game.
Like for a period of time, like if I just
M4 chip playing Sims.
Yeah, for a period of time, like if my laptop died, I'm like, oh fuck that thing. I'll just open another laptop.
Just airdrop all the content.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Oh, dude, that's probably the most beneficial thing of having free money to spend on things. Like my business currently, like I'd say 80% of all of our revenue is tied up in the actual business running.
Yeah, great.
Which is it's rough. And then
Yeah, but you're early days.
and then probably like 18% of that 20% remaining goes to the baby.
Yeah. And then like fucking half of it goes to the ATO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that. We're in early days though. How long have you been operating with?
We just had a 5-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. June, last month. Yeah, so 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your how you said that you could be Wilco as a fucking late 30s DJ.
Yeah.
Your transition to finding this group of people and then starting with you.
Yeah.
Oh, not with you.
Well, yeah,
Where
the
you.
company's called Where You, program's called With You.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else gets
Starting, there's too many yous. Then starting Where You, and then you were doing it for people, and that kind of showed the industry that you could do for them.
Yep.
But now you take it away.
Yeah, because I was like, this is the conversation that prompted you to ask me to come on again. Well, I'm assuming it is anyway. Like when I was talking about how I turned away for a good half decade, like 90% of the people that wanted our done for you services.
Why?
Because it just didn't make any sense for them. Because there's a number of reasons done for you. Like to be clear as well, we still have a done for you arm of the business. We're just incredibly fucking selective about who we offer it to because it has to actually economically make sense for them. I did a podcast with someone else last week, and he's opened it. He was a With You member doing the With You workshop. He's like, and he opened the podcast by saying, I originally spoke to you 5 years ago, and you told me to come back when I hit a new revenue bracket, and it would make more sense. And I was like, yeah, I had that same conversation with literally 90% of the people that wanted to work with us. Someone asked on my Instagram, which was the story I was replying to. He said, why would you tell people to just learn it themselves through with you? Like, wouldn't you make more money to offer them for you? And I said, yeah, 100%. There are periods of time where we lost like thousands of dollars every month because I just wouldn't sell for you to people. To be absolutely clear as well, like I'm pretty transparent with this. This time last year, we were $250,000 in debt to the ATO. Wow. I owed like $60,000 on an Amex, and I also just didn't pay myself $20,000 in superannuation. I was just open up fucking every fucking line of credit as I was like working out the business. I could have very, very easily sold to those 90% of people and just not had $250,000 of fucking debt, but I didn't because I'm not a liar. I'm not a coward. I was like, no, I'll just work out another way to do it. And so we did that with you, which is like, because I was literally turning away 90% of people for like years. Literally years. This isn't like a new fucking sales pitch or anything like that. I've had multiple fucking accounts of people where they're like, yeah, the first fucking 3 times you talked to me, you told me to come back when it made more sense. There's a number of reasons it doesn't make sense. Like one, it's, okay, so when you get an agency, right, you either get a like expensive one, and it doesn't even fucking make sense for you because after your like net profit, your gross and your net profit, you probably just get busier and break even as the best case scenario. Yeah. So it doesn't economically make sense. It's like they might perform well, but on the P&L statement, you lose money.
What's P&L?
Profit and loss statement.
Okay, all right.
Bro, you're in like 7 months. You got to learn this shit.
My bad. I don't focus on that shit.
Right, bro. I didn't know what a balance sheet was until like a year ago. But just look that up too.
Okay. Thank you.
That's where the ATO debt is. Or you get like a really, really cheap one. They go, oh, well, that's too expensive. I'll get a cheap one. And you get one of my fucking cousins in Manila as a virtual assistant and you get them to run your Google ads. And they don't get any fucking results. They just know how to use the interface and get some ads on. Or you get one in the middle where they're like, you can afford them. But the math of an agency means that like the average ad specialist has to have like fucking at least 15 fucking clients. And so like, it's like, the attention's all divided. And it's basically like a lose scenario. And so there were very few exceptions where I could actually go, yeah, it makes sense for you to get a done for you solution. We got to do all the math and stuff like that. Nine times out of 10, I was like, yeah, this doesn't actually make sense for you. And like we'd have all these filters in place to essentially just reject them.
Well, most of the ones that you were turning away, were they service-based or product-based?
We were doing for you services. We were doing for service and e-commerce.
Okay.
And then we niched down to just service. So we got better and better results as we just niched down more and more and more and more. Right. But that's just a given because you just start repeating the same thing. And then, but when I was turning people away, I was literally just saying like, hey, just go like YouTube search this and then just do that. And then that will help you get by for now. And then one day someone was like, hey, like it was the second time he applied to work with us. And it was for a different business. And I said again, I was like, bro, it still doesn't fucking make any sense. He's like, dude, there's got to be some way we can work together. And I was like, well, he's like, well, can you just show us how to do it ourselves? I was like, oh, no, I don't want to make a course. And he's like, no, like, we'll fly over and like, can you just show us how to do it? I was like, oh, well, that sounds like fun. And so he bought a ticket and then it like flew from Sydney to Perth. And then he's like, oh, what if my wife wants to come? I'm like, oh, she gets like 50% off. And so he bought it and her. And then the next call I did had the same conversation. Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, is there some way we can work together? Like, do you have like a YouTube channel or something? I was like, well, the last guy I talked to is flying to Perth. Do you want to do that? She's like, oh, yeah, okay. And then like literally everyone that day bought. And so we were working on with you for like 2 or 3 years, like refining it. Like at first it was service and e-commerce. And then we just niched down to service-based. And then we just like slowly refined it. Like with you isn't a new thing that like just came out in like October. Like we were making it better for like 3 years.
Right.
Like literally all we did last year was just try and get the most fucking insane results possible for members. Get as many testimonials, as many wins as we possibly could. And then when we punched the fucking gas, it really grew. Like I'm pretty transparent with our numbers. With you used to be essentially a fucking side hustle for the business. Wow. We would do about $100,000 a month across the business in general. Only $25,000 of that was with you. Now it does $400,000 a month.
Wow. Awesome.
Like, and that was all in the space of like October. And I attribute that to a number of things. One was like how good we made the product over the last year. Like our whole focus was just make it like you just had to be stupid to basically not buy it. And so refining the product And then also just the wave of like how many business owners in Australia have been burnt by agencies. Like I really appreciate all of my competitors because you make my fucking customers.
Perfect.
like literally they're all thinking like, man, I could do a better job myself. And they're actually right. Like the business owner, if you took anyone, the business owner is actually the best person to be doing the marketing for the business because no one speaks to their customer more than the business owner. No one knows all the objections, the frequently asked questions. No one understands the product, any of this stuff nearly as much as the business owner. No one will move faster than the business owner. No one is more financially incentivized for the marketing to do better than the business owner. Like the only thing that the business owner often lacks is just a marketing understanding and like logging into Ads Manager, looking at it and going, fuck that. Well, it's like if you just know what button to press and you take everything that you know and you make it ad that the right person clicks, landing page the right person converts, and you just talk to the right person so that they buy, the business grows. That's why we get fucking complaints in like the comments of our ads of people that think that the results are fake. Because
I've seen all those. Use them in spam heaps, dude.
Yeah, so like we have members that do the most basic shit and beat their agencies because like whoever knows the customer the best just wins every single time.
Of course. I'm going to take out every drink thing. Every sip, I'm going to take it out. Thank you for the transparency. It's cool to see a Perth company do that, and it's cool to see a friend do that. And man, you've come fucking far, bro. It's fucking so sick to see, dude. Thank you. What do you think it is that people don't see? When you start a business, and I've talked to many people that started businesses and then they don't do well because they don't focus on their marketing. Sales is important, but sales can only get you so far without people knowing about you.
Yeah, 100%.
So where's the disconnect?
So I look at marketing, sales, and product all interlinked, and if you can get all three of them right, it acts as this like spinning flywheel, right? So the first thing you need to do is marketing. Like people, like if more people know about you, will more people possibly buy? Yes, that's correct. There's a positive correlation there, right? But it's not just enough for them to know about you. They also need to purchase. So if you're e-commerce, it means purchasing on the website. If it's service-based, it means you've got to talk to enough people and convince them to buy. However, if your product's really bad, then you start getting either just negative word of mouth or your marketing costs go up. If you can have like a really, really good product, a couple of things happen. One, you get more testimonies, you get more reviews. You use them in your ads and on your landing pages, that improves your marketing. Right. And it also improves your sales conversion rates because you have more proof, yes, this has worked for other people. Second thing it does is it like make sure you don't get negative word of mouth. So when people like, okay, so this is funny. So I'm in the Entourage's ads. Despite saying how good my experience in the Entourage was in the ad, people still message me and go, hey, how was your experience in the Entourage? I'm like, did you not fucking watch the video? Yeah. Like, they
Isn't
didn't put a fucking gun to my head. Bitch? Like, am I sweating or something as a dude off camera? It's the same thing with like all of our members. Like any of the members that are in the testimonials, they'll get like DMs and stuff from people saying, hey, like, is this experience still holding true, right? And they all have positive things to say. The other thing we get, I don't know if you noticed, but our members will start fights with people that doubt us in the comments.
Yeah, I've seen that shit.
We have like Adriano and Martin going to fucking war for me, bro. Like, I don't check the comments that much.
Yeah.
Depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm like, who wants to smoke today?
Yeah.
But whenever I do comment, there'll be like members that are like replying saying, no, this is fucking great. And they're all like arguing with people in the comments and shit. So we get positive word of mouth.
You taught them how to feed their kids, bro.
Yeah, we had...
You know?
Yeah, well, we had... I don't know if you know this story. I mentioned on another podcast. And I won't say her name because it's private for her. But I was in Kangaroo Gully with my girlfriend. And I was doing like... I do this thing every now and then where I just try and go into a forest and I fucking sit there and I think and I write some of the ideas down. But... we're having breakfast in this cafe.
No.
Trust me, it's about to get a lot going.
Yeah, okay, awesome. I'm here for it.
And we got up to leave, and this lady came up to me, and she goes, Brandon? I go, yeah. She goes, hey, I did your With You program. It was the only one I wasn't able to make it to for personal reasons I won't get into. But she said, I just want to let you know that after your workshop, me and my family get to keep our house.
Whoa.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm more present with my husband. Like I'm able to be on this holiday with my kids. She had her 3 kids behind her and stuff like that as well. We talked for like 5 or 10 minutes. And for a dude whose like whole Instagram was like fast cars and Cuban cigars, it was very off brand for me to like be tearing up in front of my girlfriend. Like I hugged her and all this stuff.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, but like there's so many different examples. Like,
That's a third party story that you want as a testimonial, bro.
yeah,
You know, that
but
is
obviously, like because she said like I was gonna make a post, but it's kind of personal, so that's why I don't name her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the kind of thing that it really comes down to is like sometimes people hire their first team member, sometimes people nearly went out of business and they do the program, and yeah.
Well, that's the thing, man. Is that all these people are just people. All the numbers that you sold to and taught how to sell in their own company.
She was also a really hard sell as well. So Melville enrolled her, and she was actually she'd been burnt a couple times in the past, and then there was some like confusion about like what she got, and then I actually, this more makes me look bad, but I told Melville, I was like, dude, just refund her, and like she just seems like she's going to be a hassle. But Melville was like, no, like I reckon she needs this, and Melville told me, he's like, I'll just like give her a discount and just cop the like commission, the cut on his commission. I was like, okay, cool. And then she said that.
Wow.
Like if Melville didn't like push back on me and go, no, like she needs this, she might not have a house.
Well, the other side to that story is she actually applied herself.
Yeah, well, that's the important thing, right? Like when sometimes people will come in and they'll be really nervous because they might be in like a tricky financial situation. And to be clear, like if it wasn't obvious already, we have a very non-pushy sales process. More often than not, we fucking turn people up posting about it on Instagram. We try and often talk people out of doing it.
Yeah.
We had another member, I think he'd be fine with me saying his name because he posted it publicly, but I won't say his name anyway. But he said when he bought, he had like a couple bucks left in his bank account. We didn't know that. We weren't like trying to get $4.5 out of him, but he hired like his first 2 staff members.
Oh, wow.
After the program, we had like, Jack won't mind me saying, Jack Perotta. He commented on that person's post saying, yeah, like I took a massive risk. Like he was thinking about joining the program for like a year or something. When he finally did, he like nearly missed rent, but he did like, I think his most recent post, he did like $133,000 in 9 months.
Wow, dude.
And he only spent like 10 or 15 grand on ads or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. That's sick.
But the point that I wanted to make was like when you have to make it work, like you will apply yourself.
Yes.
So for example, like when I was fucking $250,000 in debt last year, my parents were like, can you get out of this? I was like, well, I don't have a fucking choice. I was like, I have to find a way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to scratch and fucking claw and ignore emails and phone calls from the ATO until I can turn this thing around.
Yeah. Yeah, visitor bars don't look so good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. I think it's cool. A lot of people don't go into business to help others. They kind of do it to help themselves.
Yeah, when I teach sales on day 2, the first thing I have to do is basically like sell people on the idea of sales, because no one, like if you close your eyes right now and I say salesperson, like what image comes in your head?
Donkey.
Yeah, it's like it's not a good image, right? But because the people we help anyway are like service-based business owners, that means they actually have a useful skill that helps people. They're not some e-commerce dropshipping dork that like dropships something off Alibaba and probably never actually fucking posts it. They actually have a useful skill that helps people. And so the example, well, I'll use Conrad as an example. I actually used Conrad as an example in the workshop before he was working with me as my addiction coach. I said, Conrad, if someone doesn't buy your program, what's the worst case scenario? He's like, they might actually die. I was like, yeah, that's true. Someone might actually fucking die if they don't buy his services.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
real.
Yeah, I got like plenty of examples. Like the only fucking reason I started losing weight, and you knew how big I used to be, was because Joe Bebbington, a personal trainer at Stadium Fitness, cold called me.
He did?
Yeah, just cold called me. And it was right after I was having all those like heart complications and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, this seems like a good idea. And then I got into the gym. That's the only fucking thing, right?
Cold call, bro.
Like there's so like most service-based business owners could think of at least one customer that like drastically improved their life as a result of the service. And so when you can reframe sales to come from a place of service rather than trying to solicit a transaction from someone, it becomes a lot easier to sell and a lot lower resistance.
Yeah. Fucking oath. That's well said. Well said. I remember this time I was doing cold call sales for mortgage lending.
Yeah.
And I would sell and then the broker would go out. And there was this guy who had like 5 properties and I called him cold call off an old list. And he's like, yeah, I'm in like financial turmoil. I'd love to talk to you. And I was like, okay, beautiful. And we went out to see them. I couldn't say anything about finance at the time, obviously, because of regulations and I can't give advice in that. But I can sell the product that we had. And it just turned out that this guy was literally about to go bankrupt like the next day.
Yeah, wow.
And we were like, oh, hold off. And we gave, the broker gave him a plan to get him through the situation. And it saved his his financial life. Yeah.
Sick.
It was very, very cool. So I believe in sales 100%. And I think that the word sales does get a bad rap.
Yeah.
But everything's sold. Like if you have a screaming toddler in a fucking supermarket and they want a chocolate and you give in, they sold you on that chocolate.
Yeah.
They sold you. You got sold by a
yeah,
fucking
100%.
toddler,
One of the things, you might like this, the way that I screen for sales reps is one of the things you need to look for is make sure they have like high standards for ethics and morals. And so I think you know this saying as well, the way someone does something is the way they do everything else.
Yes.
And so one thing I have to do is find out what people are like in their personal life, because that will indicate what they're like as a sales rep. Because like if someone's like, it's not like someone is a fucking scumbag, like fucking cheats on their girlfriend on the weekend and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden on Monday puts their good boy shoes on, becomes a great sales rep. I'm bringing this up.
I knew a lot of them.
I'm bringing this up as an example because I had a fucking terrible sales rep at Industry Set, and I use him as an example of like what not to hire now. That was the fucking only good thing that came out of that situation. But you have to find out like what they're like on the weekend. Because obviously the way they do something is the way they do everything else. Like if they're just a scumbag on the weekend, they don't put their good boy shoes on the Monday. It's like, no, they're going to fuck your prospects and customers.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to emotionally manipulate them, pressure sell them and all this stuff. And so that's one of the things I've got to do is like find out what people are like in their personal life and then hire them. Like we have put like, obviously I'm trying not to make this whole fucking thing like a with you pitch, but like all of our sales reps are like very like low pressure. It's just like if it's not a good fit for them, like that's fine, just come on later or something. I don't fucking care. Yeah.
But it's not that you don't care. I think it's that you do care, and that from what I've heard from you speak about so far, it's that you don't want to fuck people.
Yeah.
Like financially, because if they're not making money from their current situation, then there's no point taking $4,500 if they can't get themselves out of it in the first place.
Yeah, 100%.
Or through it. You know what I mean? So saying I don't care, I'm not. Words matter, right?
Yeah.
Dude, there seems to be an ongoing thing with you, and it's it's self-improvement plus discipline of empathy, because I feel like you're very attentive to yourself, but you have a lot of, I don't know, I know this isn't rude and not offensive. Try not to get offended.
That's right.
You kind of learning empathy.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm starting to have more people say that.
Yeah. So it's cool because like it's almost you can see the stages of what empathy is, but you're taking it from like a financial point of view, you're taking it from a business stance, but then you're being empathetic to yourself. Like you pulled yourself out of being a beast. Well, I don't think you were a beast. You were just overweight.
I was. Call it spade, bro.
Orange apples, whatever it is. And then you're taking care of your mind, your body, and all that stuff. And dude, props to you, bro.
Thank you.
Props, man. I went the other way. Did
you? I don't think you did.
I think I did.
You're bodybuilding again?
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
Sure. But for a long time, man, I was...
Have you been at least directionally accurate, though? I think
it's a great question. I like to put out the ether that I am.
Yeah, I think you've been directionally accurate. Because if you look at my path, I've been directionally accurate, but I've certainly been like peaks and troughs, because it goes like this, right? And then sometimes it goes like that. But as long as you're directionally accurate, I always use the analogy, is it Apollo 11? Were they the first spaceship onto the moon?
Yes. 13?
Perhaps Apollo 13.
That's the one that crashed, right? Apollo 13?
Yeah, maybe you're right. But you can Google it. It's like whatever the first, I think it was Apollo 11. If you Google it, I think the statistic, it was technically off course 98% of the time.
Ooh.
So 98% of the time, I had to make all these little course corrections. And so basically, I think the general philosophy that I try and point people in is like, pick a direction go that way and then just work out the details on the way there. And you'll have all these massive fluctuations as well. But as long as you can look at a long time horizon and go, I've been directionally accurate, it's akin to.
Hey.
When you look at your, of course I'm going to bring this back to advertising. When you look at your ads, the performance will dip or improve on a daily basis, even on a week-to-week basis. So when you look at your meta ads performance, you don't look at anything less than the last 30 days of performance.
Okay.
Because that's the trend line. Because Monday will be up, Tuesday will be down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You want to look at a trend. And then what you want to do even further is look at over the last 90 days. Because the last 90 days better than the earlier 90 days, and make sure that's directionally accurate over a statistically significant sample size of data.
Do you use that same analysis structure for your self-improvement?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I try and do everything in numbers.
Yeah, it's a good move. If it's what you know, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm more a visual improvement kind of guy, but I'm not sure.
I think you are, because you're looking up when you're thinking right now.
What does that got to
I
do
talked
with
about
it?
this with you.
So NLP, neuro-linguistic programming.
I think it falls under that. I was taught that if someone's looking up when they're thinking, they're trying to conjure up an image. When you're thinking then, you're like looking up.
I always look up. I just looked up. Fuck.
Yeah, so that might be the point. But
No, these are actually monitors.
If you had like looked down or started playing with your hands more than you already were, it implies you're kinesthetic. So like you'd need demonstrations and doing stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. My son, he could only crawl backwards.
That's interesting.
It's weird, right? He could only crawl backwards for like 2 months. And then he went and saw his friend Billy, cute as shit, and he saw Billy crawl. The next day, he started crawling forwards. So if he's anything like me, he's probably, visual. Yeah. Very visual.
Interesting.
Yeah, I how do you think? You're more numbers and direct, right? Is it more prefrontal cortex? Are you more airy fairy? Gary Vaynerchuk says hands in the dirt, head in the sky.
Yeah, I'm a D personality type on the disc profile. Do you know what your disc profile is?
I think C.
C? Yeah, that makes sense. I think that makes sense with what I know about you. So I'm high D, which is very fast and task orientated.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like details very much. I just want to move really quickly. I'd rather just build something, break it, and then figure out what broke, and then just fix that bit.
That's perfect. That's you to a fucking T. That is you to a T.
Yeah, 100%.
You to a D. Yeah, dude. Fuck. Maybe I need to do that disc profile again, because I feel like as you go through life and you mature and all that kind of stuff, it does change.
There's a few things that change it. I know that changing continents changes it.
Whoa.
Yeah, significant life events as well. So, for example, you being a father now might have changed it.
Yeah, right.
I've also been told that you can be... Oh, the camera just died.
Yeah, we got like 2 minutes.
That's cool. I've also been told that you can be different profiles for work as opposed to at home.
Is that how you get like the cheating?
No, I think it means like if you're very, I don't know, you might be a high D personality type at home, but you might be more like people and slow, maybe like S.
S, yeah.
At like home or something like that.
I think that encapsulates my missus. She's like very numbers fucking everything at work, and then as soon as she's home, she's like, calm down.
I think that's me, like, because I just want to like chill out with my
maths.
Yeah,
Maths.
that's what's feminine brain rot.
Oh god, fucking hell. Well, Brandon, thank you very much for coming in again, man.
Thank you very much. Pleasure as
We'll do it
always.
again. Don't move states yet. I'll come with you. Now, good luck on the Batcave. I want to come see it.
Yeah, 100%. All right,